Hey, how's it going? Danny from Hermanis Car Auto here. Today we got this Ram 2018. It's a 1500 Rebel. And pretty much what we're going to do to this vehicle, we're going to replace the stereo that comes from the factory. This one came equipped with the 8-inch U-Connect. Comes with the Alpine system. Comes on the steering wheel. Comes with rear parking sensors. And pretty much what the stereo we're going to replace it with, we're going to replace it with a Stinger HEIGH10. And that's going to be a 10-inch floater, which is going to offer Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. This vehicle did not come equipped with Apple CarPlay, not or Android Auto. That's the reason why we're changing it from the U-Connect 8-inch to the HEIGH10, made from Stinger. This is the quick before of the original system. Once we are done, we'll record a video and give you guys a demo and the final product of the install and go from there. Alright, so we just finished wrapping the install on this Ram Rebel. This right here is the original U-Connect 8-inch screen that came out of it. Not just only did we have to replace the stereo, but then also replace the whole USB hub assembly as well, just so that way it connects with the radio, since the radio has two USB ports, an auxiliary, and also an HDMI. As stated before, we were to retain all the factory features that came along with this vehicle, such as steering wheel controls, factory and premium audio system, backup sensors, and everything that came equipped with the factory U-Connect. So this right here is the Stinger HEIGH10. Inside here, inside the glove box, right there is the USB/aux hub. It's nice because it retrofits just like in the factory was, that square shape and everything, so that it just snaps it into place and it looks factory as much as we possibly can. Still has access to his inner glove box, everything nice and tidy, like if nothing was to happen here. And as previously stated, factory backup camera right there is retained, along with his dynamic lines. And lastly, what would be the buttons on the steering wheel. So all of those features are still retained while having an aftermarket stereo. The customer didn't want to go down on screen, or didn't want a floating unit that doesn't look as great. That's why we opted out with the Stinger HEIGH10. So not just only does the customer now has Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, but they also keep the factory bezel too, meaning the volume. It's still retained. The screen off option, which comes in the original bezel, still stays there. So that's a neat thing that it has. And the AC controls and everything is still retained as well. So everything is still working with the factory stuff, but in an aftermarket solution. Now, pretty much the AC controls right here, this is like a quick menu, but they do have a designated menu option right here where it says climate. And right there's more into detail if you want to do dual zone, you want to sync it, turn the temperature up, down, heated steering wheel, heated seats. So all of that fun stuff is still retained with an aftermarket unit, well at least in this case with the Stinger HEIGH10. Not just only that, it doesn't retain all of the vehicle settings per se. Another option too that it has vehicle info, kind of like the iData Maestro units that shows you a tire pressure sensor, lets you know if your doors are open, performance gauges such as battery voltage, oil temp, oil pressure, all that fun stuff, along with an RPM gauge and a miles per hour gauge, which is nice because it's pretty darn accurate, which is really nice right there. And then right here in the settings, right there, I was just messing with the EQ not too long ago, but then from there, as I was mentioning before, it does have vehicle settings. Now it won't retain every single feature. That is one of the downsides when you do go aftermarket from the factory, that there'll be some things that won't be retained, like for example like information like on the cluster that'll tell you what source is playing, meaning what song is playing, what artist, all that fun stuff. That doesn't get retained, unfortunately. However, you do get some of the settings that the factory radio has, such as cameras, units, display, mirrors, the door locks, suspension, quite a few different settings that the radio originally had that we were able to keep with the aftermarket stereo. But yeah, this is pretty much it. Now this radio is only wired CarPlay and wired Android Auto, so that does unfortunately mean that it's not wireless, at least for the HEIGH10. The Horizon 10 or the other models that Stinger nowadays makes, they are wireless and wired CarPlay and Android Auto. Now the next time I'm gonna record a video, we are gonna work on a Dodge Challenger. I believe it's a 2020, 2022, and on that one, we are going to install the Horizon 10, which is going to offer wireless CarPlay, wireless Android Auto, so that way the customer doesn't have to use a cord like how I am right now in order to access those features on screen. But yeah, this is the overall result on this particular unit and this install on this Dodge Ram. If you need like this done to your vehicle, we are here at Jimenez Car Audio. Our address is 503 East Central Avenue in the city of Rayford. Our phone number is 910-782-0453. Let us know if your vehicle needs. We're here and happy to assist.